There is an intent of reiteration, which is a fundamental bearing aspect of the active side of infinity. It is the aspect that actually makes things happen, or rather makes things happen with order, continuity, and that makes sure that conscious beings obey the dictates of intent. It is a real power that forces us to follow certain paths. It is what makes us what we are, what makes us keep our convictions, what consolidates the human form, what balances the forces in place, and is also what makes us concentrate on ourselves in the context of human sociality. I don't mean to say that it is the cause of these outcomes, but it is what sustains any energetic fact that must happen. Warriors have discovered this intent of reiteration long ago. They confronted it in various forms, starting with the ancient seers, who used the force that catalyzes attention as a glue for their rituals. The new seers have approached it in a completely different way. First of all, they tried to fully understand how it worked, what its deeper nature was, and how the rule could be applied to it. And then they used the intent of reiteration to dismantle the intent of reiteration. We could say to stalk the intent of reiteration. To do this, they obviously had to know more deeply the nature of intent itself, of the active side of infinity. We could still say that confronting the intent of reiteration is what has led modern seers to understand much more deeply the spirit, the active side of infinity. They also understood that the intent of reiteration could not be opposed, since this is an aspect of the spirit itself, and therefore it is absolutely binding in a form that we cannot counter directly. But they realized that they could use the force of the intent of reiteration itself to create reiterating forms that would balance the constricting intent of reiteration up to cancelling its effects, something like a minus times minus equals plus. Over time, they have developed very refined methods to achieve their goal, but the bottom line is that understanding the intent of reiteration is the real key to freedom. Reiteration is the nodal point that defines all the rest. I speak of reiteration not as a reiterating act, but as an aspect, a force of intent that springs from the way in which the intent of reiteration acts upon awareness and therefore upon attention. If we do not understand this intent of reiteration and then the way to use it to modify instead of continuing to confirm ourselves, there is no way to get out of our cage, of the repetition of ourselves. There's no way to deconstruct the human form, to really lose the sense of personal importance, to get rid of the suggester, because the intent of reiteration will always bring us back there. In one way or another, all the activities of modern seers pass through the understanding and use of the intent of reiteration. Whether it is the art of dreaming, the art of stalking, the relationship with intent, or whatever other type of activity. The sequence and the recapitulation also use the intent of reiteration. Everything revolves around this pivot, which is what the ancient seers called power, that is, the possibility and the ability to understand.